Hello and welcome. We are here again for another Cookalong, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. It is kind of a little bit overcast in Sydney, so I don't know where you're all from today, but would love to know. Sarah is going to be there tonight giving you any information you need as we go, so if you miss any of the steps along the way, she's there to help you. So thank you, Sarah. All the way from Tassie. I'm not sure what the weather's like down there at the moment. So we're going to be doing tonight a chicken stroganoff. So I have done a beef stroganoff before. There's a few things that are a little bit different here. Obviously, it's not beef, it's chicken, so that would be the most obvious. But also, I'm going to be using creme fraiche tonight. So instead of using sour cream, it just means that it's not kind of as sour as like a sour cream is. It's a little bit lighter than that. So that's what I'm doing with that one tonight. But you can do this with beef or chicken. If you're going to do beef, just do nice thin, well, not too thin, sort of, kind of nice strips in there, and it may take a little bit longer. As I always say as well, at the end, if you think it's not quite cooked, let it rest for 5 minutes, because you never know, it does sometimes take that little bit longer. So I'm just going to check quickly. Now, I've got some other things going on here, because I've got some things that I want to show you and talk to you about. So let me just get this out right now into my expert mode. It's going to be a bit tricky getting around that. I didn't really think about that, did I? Okay, so we're going to get started. We'll give you a minute, get you on board. Let me know if you're cooking along with me tonight or if you're going to give it a go later. I know some of our WA fans are obviously a couple of hours behind at the moment, so it's probably a bit early for dinner, but something that you can catch up on later. So we're going to get started in just a minute. I'm going to start by chopping up my onions and then browning it with some butter. And then we're basically going to throw all of our other ingredients in there. And these are the kind of meals we love, because it really is the set and the forget. So you can go off and do other things, whether it's if you've got children, get them sorted, homework, bathed, all of those crazy things. Or if you just want to sit down and have a glass of wine because it's been a long day. It's been a long week. It's Thursday, looking forward to Friday. And then I remember I've got TVSN Saturday and Sunday. Crazy. Anyway, lucky, I love it. Okay, so I might get started. You've all had a little bit of time to get on. So I'm going to start by popping my onion in there to get ready to chop that. Now, the great thing with chopping onion in here is it means no tears or very few tears. I just realised I've forgotten my spatula. So you're going to have to excuse me as I use something else, because we're having a bit of stuff's going on in this kitchen at the moment. So might be the last cook-along you see in this kitchen. So we have got everything's moved, and anyway, doesn't matter. We're here and we're going to get this going. So let me get started. So with chopping our onion, at the moment I've got that just on 5 minutes, but it doesn't matter for the length of time for now. We're going to get that started, but then I'm going to flick across. I'm just hoping that I can see this. And then I'm going to up my speed. So upping the speed, so the great thing with this is the blades aren't necessarily sharp, but the speed is going to be what gives us that opportunity to chop the onion, which is great. So we'll just chop that up. Round and round. I think I was doing that actually with my head. Okay, and we're done. We're happy. I love the fact that you can just chop your onion. You don't have to do it yourself. It's all done. So if you've ever tried to chop an onion and you've not gone past speed 3, good luck. It's not going to chop your onion. It's not actually built for that. It's all about the speed with that blade. So we'll just scrape down the sides of there with my non-Magimix spatula, but just ignore that. Pretend you didn't see it. Pretend like it's all good. Okay, then I'm going to pop in my butter, and we're going to get that to brown off for a few minutes. So I'll just pop that in there. A new kitchen would be great, because it probably would give me a little more room. Let's go with that. Okay. Positives in everything, right? Now I'm just going to double check that I have got this right. Now I'm going to pop that in, and we're going to cook that off for about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to leave that on, or pop that onto speed 3. So we'll take the speed down. Oh, I can't see it now. We'll take the speed down there. We're going to go across to our temperature, and we're going to go up to 120 degrees. And then we're going to pop that on for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then we're going to drop that down because we only need speed 3 for this one. And I also do like to take off the cap, which I've done as well, just to let that steam out and let that brown up a little bit. So let's get that going. So my next step will then be to add the rest of our ingredients. So what do we have? We've got our chicken, we've got our mushrooms, I've got some beautiful homemade veggie stock, some tomato paste, some wine and some water I've just got mixed in there together. Some sweet paprika. You can use smoky if you like, but personally I don't like the flavour so much in this dish with the smoked paprika. So I like the sort of the flavour with the sweet. It's got some cayenne pepper in there, some corn flour and a little bit of salt as well. We've got some Dijon mustard to add in there as well. And mushroom, did I say mushrooms? Mushrooms and chicken. So chicken I've just sort of cut into sort of strips like so, ready to go. Obviously, depending on how you cut your chicken, it's going to vary a little bit with the time that we're going as well. So I am going to show you a couple of things tonight because this is going to take 20 minutes and I can talk really well, but I might run out of things to talk about. So I thought that maybe I'll just show you some things. Show you some things that I love with some of our accessories. So we'll go through that as well. This weekend is a busy weekend. So TVSN, it's big brand weekend at TVSN. So we will be doing the Cook Expert with a fabulous bonus at 6:30 on Saturday night. And then backing up on Sunday with our beautiful... Now, if you haven't seen this machine, you need to have a look. So it's the 5200 XL, which is what you can see here, but it's in a mirrored chrome. So this thing, oh my gosh, when you see the pictures and you see how amazing it looks in your kitchen, the mirrored chrome, it's seriously like looking into a mirror. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we'll be doing a show with some fabulous food processor recipes, and I can take you through some of the things we're doing and some of the things I've been testing as well, but that will be at 2:30. 2:30, I'm pretty sure it's 2:30 on Sunday. So a busy weekend for us to be able to go on and show you all of our beautiful products and some new recipes. Actually, the recipe that I'll be doing in the cocotte to reveal is a... Should I tell you or should I make you watch it? You probably should watch it just so you get an idea of what it is. But I've got some Thai chicken meatballs that are then cooked in a red curry sauce. So I did experiment this recipe with the ladies at work during the week and they loved it. There was nothing left. So it was a really great recipe, really easy, another great set and forget. If you don't have the cocotte, you probably could still do it in your Cook Expert. You might just have to brown your meatballs in a fry pan prior and then pop it into your Cook Expert to cook potentially. I don't know. Haven't tried it yet, but I know that it's amazing in the cocotte. So if you've got the cocotte, it's a really good recipe to look out for. So this is nearly done. We've got about 30 seconds to go. So as I said, Sarah is there to answer all of your questions tonight. So if you've got anything to ask or you haven't kept up with the recipe and you're not sure where you're at, please do pop something on there and she can answer that for you. You probably can't see me through the steam. And we can get you back on track, so if you are cooking with us. All of our cook-along videos are saved, so you can always go into our YouTube channel to go back and have a look at some of the ones from the past. So if you're ever not sure or you want to catch up, they're always there as well. So, okay. Now, I'm going to put the cap back on now, just so I remember, and also so I don't drip everywhere on the bench. And then I'm going to pop everything else in. Okay, so we're going to pop in our chicken. Oh, that smell of onion cooking with butter. Oof, amazing. I'm going to pop in then our mushrooms. I'm then going to pop in my tomato paste. So a couple of tablespoons, of tomato paste. Then we're going to pop in some of the homemade veggie stock. If you do not make your own veggie stock, I highly, highly recommend it. So it is something that you can do with even things like the leaves from your celery rather than wasting them. So it's a really good recipe to be able to do with that. I'm just going to pop in about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. We've got some corn flour, the sweet paprika, the cayenne pepper, and a little bit of salt. And then we're going to pop in some wine and water that I've just mixed together in there like so. And then a tub of creme fraiche. Now, creme fraiche, if you can't find it in the supermarket, have a look in, so it's not in the cream aisle, it is actually in the aisle with your sour cream. So it gets me every time, but that is where it is. So make sure that, yeah, if you're looking for it, that's where you head in your local supermarket. Creme fraiche is really great for, you know, if you don't want that sour cream sort of taste and you don't want the cream, so it's kind of an in-betweener, which we love. A little bit something different. Okay. Now, I think we've got everything. Let's just do a double check because we always like to do that. Tomato paste, mushrooms, chicken, wine, water, veggie stock, corn flour, Dijon mustard, creme fraiche, sweet paprika, cayenne pepper, and salt. We've done it. We've mastered it. Okay, so now we're going to pop that on. We're going to pop the temperature down to 110 degrees. And we're going to pop the time on for 20 minutes, I'm pretty sure. I really need to put my glasses on. Struggling. Okay, let's go up for 20 minutes. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And we're going to go along and we're going to pop that down to 110. And then we're going to pop that on to speed 1A. So we're just going to give it that gentle stir every now and then. So a little bit of a stir to start. I love watching how it brings everything together at the start, that you can see through the lid to make sure everything's gone in beautifully. And there we have it. So we've got that on, and that is going to take about 20 minutes. So I could do my washing up, but I've got a dishwasher, so I'll just throw it all in there. And no one wants to watch that. So what I thought I'd do is, I'm just going to move that along. And I'm going to show you. So quite often people do ask me, I've bought a food processor, or if you've got a cook expert and you've obviously get a food processor with it, what accessories do you recommend? Do I need all of them? Of course, we could easily say yes, but if you wanted to limit yourself to the number of accessories that you had with your machine, I guess it's a matter of what you're going to get the most out of. So for me, my two picks, if I had to choose two, it would be the dicing kit and the creative blades. Now, creative blades, there's two types of creative blades. The first one is the one that does the waffle and the julienne. That's not the one I'm talking about. Okay, the one I'm talking about is this one here, and this is the creative kit. So the creative kit comes with, now it doesn't come with a disc support, I've just got that in there so that I remember to use it. Right, I've got it with me. The first one is the Parmesan disc. So all of those hard cheeses that you need to grate, this is absolutely perfect for that. So the Parmesan disc is in there. Then you also get the 6mm grater. So I'm going to show you with the zucchini how great this is if you're doing zoodles, because you can pop your zucchini in long ways and get that thicker slice with your 6mm grater. And then one of my favourites is the 1cm slicer. So you might think, well, I've got a 2mm slicer, that's enough. Sorry, I think I'm shining light and blinding you all. But the 1cm just is a game changer. So when it comes to doing things like your veggie bakes, potato bakes, homemade chips, I think I've shown you before on a live, homemade chips are amazing. They do not work with a 2mm slicer. They are absolutely perfect with the 1mm slicer, which is what comes in this set. So I'm going to show you first of all. So I'll take out the mini bowl. I'm going to leave in my MIDI bowl, pop in my disc support, and I'm going to pop in. Now, the reason I'm going to do zucchini is because I thought it would be really yummy to have zucchini shredded with my stroganoff. I know, clever, right? So if you don't want to have it on mashed potato, or you don't want to have it on pasta, you don't want it on rice, I do have mashed potato to serve it on tonight, but I'm going to actually still serve it with that beautiful grated zucchini as well, because I think that would be amazing. So a different way to get your veggie serve in as well. So let's just pop that on like so, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So it's not going to fit. I've cut them so it's not going to fit that way. So this is why we love the extra large feed tube. So I'm going to pop a couple of pieces in there like so. And then we're going to grate those. It's just so quick. This is what we're loving. Okay, so I'll take that out. Our two little leftover bits, which is not a lot really, is it? You could actually slice those up if you wanted to and pop them in. But then you've got beautiful slices which are more like zoodles. So you could do your zucchini a little bit longer if you had a zucchini. Mine was just not quite long enough to make 2 long halves. But it then gives you those beautiful zoodle slices for you to be able to then pop in to your salads. You can pop it into, so nice when you're doing salads, it's a little bit chunkier as well. So you've got, you know, like a lot bigger than really sort of tinily grated. Tinily is not a word, but it is now. But yes, so we've got those beautiful zucchini grated in there with the 6mm. So absolutely love that one. So that is the 6mm grater. So it just means that you can do things like zoodles with not necessarily having to have a spiralizer, that you've still got that option to be able to do it that way as well. Okay, so then I'm going to show you the potato. Yep, I'll do that first. So I'm going to swap that over and I'm going to pop in there. Yeah, I'm going to do this one first. Sorry, I'm just trying to make a decision. Okay, so then we're going to pop in our 1 centimetre because I want to show you how beautifully thin this is. So there is a couple of recipes I'm going to do on the weekend. One of them is a a thinly sliced veggie, what am I calling it? I'm calling it a scallops veggie bake. So basically I'm slicing carrots, zucchinis and potatoes super thin, and then I've got a mixture that's got eggs and milk. Should have flour in it, but I've made it gluten-free, so it doesn't need the flour. But it's a beautiful recipe to then bake in the oven, cover it in maybe some Parmesan cheese at the end, just to sort of grill it up a little bit. But it works amazingly because we can do our potatoes so thinly. So let me just show you then with that 1mm. Oh, look at that. I picked the perfect potato that perfectly fitted in there. Okay, are we ready? Like, who could stand there, even a top chef? Well, first of all, the chef wouldn't be cutting the potatoes, let's be honest. But do they really want to be standing there cutting potatoes? Stay. This perfectly. Like, look at this. Here's my stack of perfectly chopped potatoes. Look at those. They're absolutely perfect. You couldn't get that if you tried doing it yourself. So this is then going to be the base of my potato bake. So you can do, that was 1 potato that I did in about 5 seconds. So imagine having to do 2 kilos of potatoes and a huge big potato bake for a family feast. You're going to get them done perfectly easily. Look at that. It just mesmerises me how amazingly perfect they are. So that is our potatoes. Now I am going to pop those aside because I will use those. I absolutely promise I'm not wasting food. My household love the homemade chips, so we might do some homemade chips. If you haven't seen my homemade chips, let me tell you. So you get a piece of baking paper on a microwave safe plate, and then you get a little bit of oil, and I just do it in a bowl, just mix a little bit of oil through. Then lay your potatoes on the plate. So use a large plate. Don't let them touch each other. They're all got to be separate. Then you pop them in the microwave, first of all, for about 4 minutes, and then check them. And then they come out as perfect potato chips. Like, I'm talking crunchy. Add a little bit of salt at the end. I have worked out that if you salt them before you cook them, they're too salty. I know that might sound strange, but I think too much salt sticks to them, maybe. But, oh my gosh, they are amazing, and they're so easy to do and so healthy as well. So if you're craving potato chips and you're at home, like it's in potato packet crunchy, it is a beautiful way to do them. So you could do that with your sweet potato as well. You could make beetroot chips and pumpkin chips and whatever chip you desire. Okay, so I'm not going to grate Parmesan. I do apologise, only because I didn't have a block. Well, I do have a block of Parmesan, but it's ready for my show on Saturday, and so it's just not going to happen. But it does grate absolutely beautifully. Now, I'm going to then show you the dicing kit. So that's the other one that I really love. So the great thing with the dicing kit is it's just a matter of this comes out and this goes in. So with the dicing kit, you can either, so it's got the little in the bottom there, so you can see where it cuts, and you can do 2 things with this. So you can either do your veggie sticks, so I'll show you that first. So veggie sticks don't need a blade. So if I was going to be doing a carrot, I pop my carrot in there and I just push this down. That was really difficult, wasn't it? So you can see from that, I have now got these beautiful carrots, which I'm just going to roast up tonight actually, ready to go. Perfect. That's what we love. Now, if you wanted to be dicing these ones, so let me just show you that. So I'm going to get my disc support, because your dicing kit actually comes with, what we have here is the 10mm blade, so 1 centimetre. So basically, just like all your blades goes in there. You can use this blade for anything, so you don't have to be using the dicing kit. So it actually gives you an extra blade, which will fit in this box actually. There you go. So we can pop that on there like so. And now, we're going to be doing, let's do this carrot here. And I'm going to show you. So all we need to do with this one, are you ready? Is we're going to turn the machine on to get the blade going. Oh, I've probably not picked the best carrot. Done. Oop. So you can see from that, with the blade on, we've then got perfectly diced carrots. Now, I love doing the carrots. If I'm doing lamb shanks, I like to do everything nice and little. And so it's a perfect one to be able to do your carrots and your celery and all those things really quickly. Potatoes or everything. So you can see you've got the perfect little 1 centimetre cubes. But one of the things I really love doing with the dicing kit is fruit salad. So it kind of reminds me of my grandmother, because she used to stand there and chop everything for fruit salad so small. But I would just think, wow, like she'd be in the kitchen forever making this fruit salad. It was amazing. Now that I can just do it the Cheats way, I love that. Okay, I'm making an awful mess here, but that's normal for me, right? Okay, so that is the dicing kit. So, like I said, 2 of my absolute favourites. I'm just going to check the time on that. What have we got? Is that 9 minutes or 6 minutes? I think it says 9. Oh, we're halfway there. Well done. Yeah, so you can get those beautiful, you know, everything accurate, everything easy. But they are my tips. They are my go-tos. They are my 2 accessories that I think if you're going to have to choose, you want to add something, you want to do something a little bit different, dicing kit. And do you know what also the dicing kit does? Because we had a customer ask if she could dice tomatoes. She was doing a whole big batch of bruschetta, so she needed her tomatoes diced. And I thought, I don't know, I'm kind of a bit wary about that. I think that I don't want to say yes, don't want to say no. How about I test it? So of course I did. And they were beautiful. They came out so well. So obviously you don't need to buy green tomatoes for that to happen, or rock hard tomatoes. The tomato I did get was not super ripe, but it certainly was still ripe. So it was ripe enough to be able to do a bruschetta with. But the fact that it came out so beautifully from the dicing kit was just wow. So it is something else that you could do, especially in summer. Beautiful, you know, garlic bread with that beautiful bruschetta and your basil and your, you know, drizzle of balsamic vinegar. It's really yummy. You could even dice your onions through your dicing kit if you wanted to as well. So it was a really nice one, a nice sort of, you know, thing to be able to test actually, to see that it actually worked. So thank you for the lovely lady who asked that question, because I never probably would have done it if she hadn't have asked. It wouldn't have been something I would have thought that would have ever worked. So it did, and we love that. Okay, so I'm just going to push that aside a little bit. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that I have been recipe testing. It's been a little crazy in the kitchen the last couple of days, always trying to come up with new things and new recipes, because I know that lots of you do watch TVSN for inspiration on the different recipes that we do as well. So I want to show you a couple that I've done today. Are we ready? I've got, oh my gosh, see, honestly, you can tell I've been in the kitchen all day. There's food all over them. Okay, are we ready? So I'll show you the first one that I did was these beautiful blueberry muffins. So I did the first batch with frozen berries, but I'm actually going to do the batch for the weekend with fresh berries, because they're a little bit tastier, especially at the moment. They're absolutely beautiful and they're not that expensive. But these beautiful little blueberry cupcakes, amazing. The neighbours have already tested them and they think that they're fabulous. The kids love them, which is always a winner. And you can also add, if you wanted to do, instead of blueberries, you could do mixed berries if you've got some frozen mixed berries to use. And you could also add some chunks of white chocolate in there as well if you wanted to, just to, you know. And the other thing I did too is I sprinkled a little bit of not raw, just white sugar over the top of them before I baked them. So it gave it that sort of crunchy, yummy top as well. So that's those ones there, delicious. The other thing I did today, which I've really gotten into, this is my second attempt at these and I think I got better, and that is these beautiful little homemade dinner rolls. Aren't they so cute? Now what I loved about this recipe was how easy they were. So the thing when doing dough is, you know, if you're doing pizza bases or you're doing baguettes or you're doing scrolls, you have to tip it onto the bench and it gets quite messy, but, you know, we do it because it's actually still easy. But these here, so what I did is you warm up your milk and your yeast first of all. I can actually make sure we get the recipe up after the weekend. But I warm up my milk and my yeast and then I add my butter. And then we pop in there the rest of the ingredients. So there's 1 egg in there, there's the flour in there, there's a little bit of sugar in there as well. And then you just do the bread and brioche function. But I actually did that twice just to give it an extra good mix through. Then you just leave it in there for 2 hours. So I left it in the machine, in the bowl for 2 hours, 35 degrees, no speed, let it rise. And then once it had risen, you just pull it out, knock it down, and then pull it into, I think I did about 15. If you can count, there's not 15 here anymore. That would be the neighbours. But it came out to about 15 little dinner rolls. And then I just rolled them into balls, left them to rise for another hour, and then popped them into the oven for 20 minutes. And oh my goodness, they are delicious. Like, they are so good. So they were really easy to do. I was really quite surprised. Time consuming because of the proving process, but certainly not time consuming in what you need to do during the process. So there was not much for you to do at all. It was basically getting the ingredients in there, letting it prove then on its own, ripping them into little balls, rolling them up, popping them down, letting it rest, popping them into the oven. So they were super quick and easy to do. And they look fabulous. And I think if you've got those in a basket on the table and you've got guests coming over, that they're going to be thinking, wow, like, that is amazing. Who has time for that? You do. Because you've got one of these, so it makes it nice and easy. So that's my beautiful ones there. And the other one I did, which I'm not sure how it's going to come out, but I used the XXL steamer. You can just use the steaming basket that comes with your machine. I'm not sure how well these are going to come out now because I've had them, they've been cooked for a while. And they're not warm anymore. So they are little individual steamed chocolate puddings, and they're like the self-saucing chocolate pudding. So once you've done the batter, which was super easy in here, you sprinkle brown sugar and cocoa over it and then fill it with boiling water. And then you just pop them into the steamer. So I did the XXL steamer for 25 minutes. So no, I take that back. I did it for 20 minutes. Haven't tried the inner steamer yet, because we're doing something with the XL steamer, so I wanted to try it out. But they were so soft and delicious. I'm going to see whether this is actually still going to self-sauce. I might need to... Oh, no, it's still there. Oh, my gosh. I could have heated it up in the microwave if I wanted to, just for a minute. Oh, look at these. But look at these beautiful... Look at that sauce on there. All done in one little silicone mould. I haven't tried doing them in ceramic moulds, so I'm not sure how they're going to come out, but they slipped out of these ones so easy when they were hot. But look at those, and they were so delicious and so light. Maybe, if I move soon, which is what's going to be happening, I am going to have new neighbours. So maybe I should give out my address now, because the house next to me is for sale where I'm moving to, so... You could be the lucky winner and the lucky owner of a new house right next to the test kitchen. Sorry, but that would be like life-changing, I think. Okay, well, if I should say so myself. So that's what I have been doing. I think that's all I've done so far today. Yesterday was baking bread, making scrolls. This time what I actually did was tried doing my scrolls, and I par-baked them. So they are cheese and bacon. I half-cooked them, and then I put them into the freezer, so that I can test whether or not, when I pop them out of the freezer and into the oven for another 10 minutes, they're going to be as amazing as they are fresh. So that's another thing I'm testing so that I can let you all know as well. So lots going on, lots of testing to do, lots of new recipes and things. So if you've got anything you want to share, absolutely. Stop making your mouths water. But, you know, let us know, because we always are looking at new recipes and adapting recipes so that we can use them in our Cook Expert or in our cocottes or in our steamers. So there's always things there that we can do. So please let us know if you ever need help with conversions of recipes. We are more than happy to help you with that as well. So just a little bit of baking today. So the house smells amazing, as you can absolutely imagine. And now we've got our stroganoff, which cannot be far away. We've got about a minute or so. And I think that's it. So let me tell you, Saturday, chicken meatballs in red curry, amazing. Steamed Asian greens on the side. A pumpkin soup. Now, if you make pumpkin soup is next level when you make your own stock. So I really recommend you jump on to the app, have a look at the homemade veggie stock that I do. I'm going to be doing bread rolls, steamed chocolate puddings, a beautiful layered salad, so using our food processor to its full potential. The mango and ginger ice cream, which is phenomenal. If you have not done that out of the cookbook for the Cook Expert, you need to try the mango ginger ice cream. And of course the beautiful blueberry cupcakes that we did today as well. But you know what I love is that they're so simple and so easy, because this is giving us that extra set of hands to be able to do all of this in our kitchens. So we must be nearly done. Let me just grab my potato. I'll just pop that out of the way. Now, if I was going to be using my zucchini, which I'm going to, I would actually use it raw. And the reason being is because it's sliced the way it is, the sauce of that butter chicken is going to cook that really, really quickly. Okay, so it's going to give it enough heat for it to be able to cook. Let me just grab a scoop. So I'll grab that as well. Now, let's just check that we are done. Now, if you go in and you look and you think, no, it's not quite ready, please remember what I say. Sometimes it just needs to sit for 5. So it could be cooked. You just might need to let it sit for 5 minutes. Don't overcook it, because you don't want your chicken to end up chewy. But by looking at that, I'm actually pretty happy. Sorry, I'm just going to cut that. Oh, I'm happy. It's beautiful. It's perfect. We are ready to serve. So what is the time? 6:33. 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes I've grated my zucchinis and I've chopped up my carrots, and I am now going to serve this beautiful stroganoff that we have cooked, filled with mushrooms, chicken, and that beautiful sauce. Now I'm going to add sauce over that zucchini to get that to cook through. I could just have this as a mushroom stroganoff. So if you're vegetarian, by all means, take the chicken out. I could just eat this with mushrooms. So there we have it. You could sprinkle a little bit of parsley over that if you've got some, but we've done it. It's amazing. Another 30-minute meal, which is what we love on, well, I say during the week, but I actually love that on weekends as well. So hope you enjoy it. Hope you've cooked along, and if you haven't, you're hungry enough to jump on and start cooking now. Thank you all for watching again, because we do love that you join us. Thank you, Sarah, for doing the comments as well. And we really appreciate you spending the time with us in the kitchen. Bye for now.